presents morning news. Good morning, I am VC Pramod. The headlines. Counting of votes for all 7 phases of Lok Sabha elections to begin from 8 a.m. tomorrow. EC issues handbook to poll officials. UPI transactions set new record, scale 14.04 billion peak in May. Death toll in Assam floods rises to 14, over 5 lakh people affected. IMD forecasts heat wave conditions to persist with reduced intensity over northwest, central and east India for the next 2 days. And in tennis, Indo-Australian pair of Rohan Bopanna and Matthew Ebden progressed to third round of French Open men's doubles event in Paris last night. The counting of votes for the Lok Sabha elections will take place tomorrow. The counting of votes for assembly polls in Andhra Pradesh and Odisha and by-elections to assembly constituencies will also be held on the same day. The counting will begin from 8 a.m. onwards. General elections were held from the 19th of April to the 1st of June 2024 in 7 phases to elect all 543 members of the Lok Sabha. The votes will be counted and results will be declared tomorrow. The Election Commission said that the counting trends and results will be available on the ECI website at results.eci@gov.in as well as on the Voter Helpline app. The Voter Helpline app can be downloaded from the Google Play Store or Apple Play Store. The Commission has also issued a handbook for returning officers and counting agents, which is available on its website. The Commission added that the comprehensive instructions for counting arrangements, procedure of counting of votes and storage of EVMs and VVPATs are already available on its website. All arrangements are in place to ensure the smooth counting of votes for all 7 Lok Sabha seats in Delhi. More from our correspondent.
The counting of votes in the national capital will take place tomorrow from 8 am onwards. In Delhi, 7 counting centers have been set up. They are located in Bharatnagar in Chandni Chowk Parliamentary Constituency, Nandnagri in Northeast Delhi, Commonwealth Games Sports Complex in East Delhi, Gol Market in New Delhi Constituency, Shahabad Daultapur in Northwest Delhi, Dwarka Sector 3 in West Delhi and Siri Fort in South Delhi Lok Sabha seat. Meanwhile, the Election Commission will also hold a press conference today in Delhi. Adarsh for Akashvani News, Delhi.
The polling for the Lok Sabha elections Delhi was conducted on the 25th of last month, recording a voter turnout of 58.69%. In Uttar Pradesh, all arrangements have been put in place for the counting of votes for 80 Lok Sabha seats. Talking to Akashvani News, State Chief Electoral Officer CEO Navdeep Rinwa said that the counting of votes will take place at 81 counting centers in 75 districts of the state tomorrow. The CEO said that to monitor the counting process, the Election Commission of India has deployed 179 central observers.
उत्तर प्रदेश में 75 जनपदों में कुल 81 मतगणना केंद्र है जहां ये मतगणना संपन्न होगी। 6 जनपद ऐसे हैं जहां 2 मतगणना केंद्र हैं, बाकी सब में एक एक मतगणना केंद्र है। 80 लोकसभा क्षेत्रों में 35 लोकसभा क्षेत्रों की मतगणना तो एक मतगणना केंद्र पे ही हो जाएगी। 37 लोकसभा क्षेत्र ऐसे हैं जिनकी 2 मतगणना केंद्रों में होगी जो 2 अन्य अलग अलग जनपदों में स्थित है और 8 लोकसभा क्षेत्र ऐसे हैं जिनकी मतगणना 3 जनपदों में होगी। पोस्टल बैलेट की मतगणना जो रिटर्निंग ऑफिसर है उसके मुख्यालय पे होगी। 179 प्रेक्षक हैं जो काउंटिंग पे नजर रखेंगे।
To Chhattisgarh Chief Electoral Officer Reena Babasaheb Kangale about preparations for tomorrow's counting.
There are 33 designated counting centers which are district headquarters. Counting for postal ballots is designated at RO headquarters in all the 11 Lok Sabha constituencies. The counting will begin at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning and we will start with counting of all postal ballots. Generally, the counting will be completed in around 20 to 25 rounds and it is expected that final results will arrive around 2 o'clock or later. We had deployed CAPF, Central Armed Forces. The highest number of rounds is in Jashpur Vidhan Sabha.
We also spoke to Himachal Pradesh Chief Electoral Officer Manish Garg about preparations for counting in the state.
जो काउंटिंग है उसके लिए 31 लोकेशंस पे काउंटिंग हॉल्स बनाए गए हैं और सुबह 8 बजे से काउंटिंग स्टार्ट हो जाएगी। काउंटिंग हॉल्स हैं वो हमारे 68 दो असेंबली सेगमेंट्स के काउंटिंग हॉल्स हैं और 4 जगह जो है वो पोस्टल बैलेट्स की काउंटिंग होगी। जो सिक्योरिटी के 3 टायर अरेंजमेंट किए गए, काउंटिंग ऑब्जर्वर्स भी आ गए हैं। रिजल्ट्स तो जैसे जैसे आएंगे असेंबली सेगमेंट वाइज और उसके बाद वो कंपाइल होंगे आरओ वाइज, यानी एक रिटर्निंग ऑफिसर के पास 17 असेंबली सेगमेंट्स हैं और उसके बाद पोस्टल बैलेट्स की काउंटिंग साथ साथ चलेगी।
In Bihar, all arrangements are put in place for counting of votes tomorrow for all 40 Lok Sabha seats. The political fortunes of 497 candidates, including 39 women candidates, will be decided tomorrow. The counting of votes for the Agion Assembly segment will also be held tomorrow, where a by-poll was held on the 1st of June. Heavy security arrangements have been made at counting centers set up at different district headquarters. In Jharkhand, elaborate arrangements have been made for counting of votes. Chief Electoral Officer K. Ravikumar informed Akashvani News that 14 counting centers have been set up across the state. He said that the counting of votes for 14 parliamentary constituencies is likely to be completed by 4 p.m. The Chief Electoral Officer mentioned that there are more postal ballots this time. Tight security arrangements have been made in and around the counting centers to ensure peaceful counting. Repoll for 2 polling booths under 17 Barasat and 20 Mathurapur parliamentary constituencies is underway in West Bengal. The voting began at 7 a.m. and will continue till 6 p.m. The polling in these 2 constituencies was held on the 1st of June. The concerned constituencies are 61 Kadambakchi Sardar Pada FP School under Barasat PC and 26 Adir Mahal Sri Chaitanya Vidyapith FP School under Mathurapur parliamentary constituency. In Karnataka, elections are being held for 3 graduates and 3 teachers constituencies for filling 6 vacant seats in the Legislative Council. The voting, which began at 8 a.m., will end at 4 p.m. The Election Commission has established 170 polling stations for teachers and 461 for the graduates constituencies. There are 78 candidates in the fray. The counting of votes will be held on the 6th of June. Unified Payment Interface UPI transactions clocked a new high in value in May by processing 14.04 billion transactions worth 20.45 trillion rupees. This was a 6% increase compared to 13.3 billion in April in terms of volume and 4% in value terms against 19.64 trillion rupees in April. Data shared by the National Payments Corporation of India (NPCI) said that the May figures were 49% up in volume and 39% up in value compared to the same month in 2023. May numbers were the highest in terms of value and volume since UPI turned operational in April 2016. The Gujarat Cooperative Milk Marketing Federation (GCMMF), which markets milk and milk products under the brand name Amul, has announced an increase in the price of poly-pack milk by 2 rupees per litre. The new prices will be effective from today. This is Akashvani giving you the news. For quick news updates on the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts.
Election results of the world's largest democracy by the oldest and the most trusted broadcaster of the country.
On 4th of June, every minute's update of vote counting from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Know who took the lead and who trailed.
Accurate information from every seat. Who won and who lost.
Listen to what we, the people of India, decided.
Tune into Akashvani Gold and other Akashvani channels for Lok Nirnay 2024.
In Assam, the flood situation continues to remain grim as more than 5 lakh people are reeling under the deluge across 13 districts. During the last 24 hours, 3 persons have lost their lives and the number of deaths caused by the flood has reached 14. More from our correspondent.
In Assam, over 5 lakh people of 564 villages in 13 districts are affected due to flood and over 8,000 hectares of crop areas have been damaged across the state. State government has opened 193 relief camps and 82 relief distribution centers in these districts. NDRF and SDRF teams have also been deployed for rescue and relief. As per government sources, during the last 24 hours, 3 persons have lost their lives, 2 at Kasa district and 1 at Nagaon district. One adult person and one children are also missing at Kasar district. According to Assam State Disaster Management Authority, 103 roads, embankments and other infrastructure have been damaged by flood waters in these districts. In view of damage of track between New Haflong, Chandranathpur section, NF Railway has cancelled and partially cancelled several trains on this route. Water level of Brahmaputra is rising at Guwahati, Gwalpara and Dhubri. Aminul Haq Siddar, Akashbani News, Guwahati.
In the Kashmir Valley, an encounter broke out between terrorists and security forces in Nehama area of South Kashmir's Pulwama district a short while ago. According to police, a joint team of police, army and CRPF launched a joint cordon and search operation CASO on specific information about the presence of terrorists in the area. Meanwhile, the encounter in the area was continuing till the reports last came in. Details are awaited. The India Meteorological Department IMD has forecast that heatwave conditions will persist with reduced intensity over northwest, central and east India for the next 2 days. We spoke to senior scientist at IMD R.K. Jainamani about the heatwave in the country.
मौसम विज्ञान विभाग से यही अपडेट है कि जो हीटवेव सीवियर हीटवेव कंडीशन चल रहा था उसका काफी रिडक्शन हो चुका है और ओनली आइसोलेटेड प्लेसेस में है जो राजस्थान और पंजाब, हरियाणा, दिल्ली और उत्तर प्रदेश। बाकी जैसे उड़ीसा, छत्तीसगढ़, झारखंड ये सब जगह में हीटवेव नहीं है बिहार में और यहाँ बारिश हो चुका है और मानसून का भी और आगे आगमन का जना है।
Meanwhile, the IMD has predicted light to moderate rainfall with thunderstorms, lightning and gusty winds in West Bengal and northeast India over the next 6 days. A moderate earthquake measuring 5.0 on the Richter scale struck Myanmar yesterday afternoon, jolting Dhaka and adjoining areas in Bangladesh. The tremors were felt in Dhaka, Chattogram, Sylhet and some other parts of Bangladesh. No reports of loss to life or property was reported when reports last came in. On to sports. In tennis, Indian tennis player Rohan Bopanna and his Australian partner Matthew Ebden progressed to the third round of the French Open 2024 men's doubles event at the State Roland Garros in Paris last night. Bopanna and Ebden beat Marcelo Zorman and Orlando Luz of Brazil 7-5, 4-6, 6-4. The Indo-Australian tennis pair was to face Sebastian Baez of Argentina and Thiago Sebot Wild of Brazil in the second round, but the opponents withdrew today. In hockey, the Indian men's hockey team went down 3-1 to Great Britain in its FIH Pro League 2023-24 match in London yesterday. Despite the loss, India remained third on the FIH Pro League points table behind the Netherlands and Argentina respectively. The team will face world champions Germany in the FIH Pro League on Saturday. And Indian women's hockey team suffered a 3-2 loss to Great Britain in their second FIH Pro League match. India currently are placed 7th in the FIH Pro League points table. They have won 2 of their 14 matches so far and have lost on 11 occasions. In the ICC T20 Cricket World Cup, co-host West Indies defeated Papua New Guinea by 5 wickets at the Providence Stadium in Guyana last night. And now for a look at today's newspapers, it's over to Shefali Singh.
Thank you, Pramod. SKM sweeps Sikkim, BJP bags third Arunachal term is the headline in the Hindustan Times. BJP sweeps Arunachal, SKM landslide in Sikkim, headlines the Asian Age. And the Times of India headlines, landslides hit Arunachal Pradesh and Sikkim. The papers report that BJP has won 46 of the 60 assembly constituencies, with the Sikkim Krantikari Morcha, SKM, winning 31 of the 32 seats. Mostly, all papers report on Arvind Kejriwal returning to Tihar jail after his 21 days interim bail ended. The Indian Express headlines, Kejriwal goes back to Tihar, tells party to stay alert during vote count. And finally, the Business Standard on its front page has a story, online sales blaze as consumers click to stay cool. And with that, it's back to you, Pramod.
Thank you, Shefali. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Counting of votes for all 7 phases of Lok Sabha elections to begin from 8 a.m. tomorrow. EC issues handbook to poll officials. UPI transactions set new record scale 14.04 billion peak in May. Death toll in Assam floods rises to 14, over 5 lakh people affected. IMD forecasts heat wave conditions to persist with reduced intensity over northwest, central and east India for the next 2 days. And in tennis, Indo-Australian pair of Rohan Bopanna and Matthew Ebden progressed to third round of French Open men's doubles event in Paris last night. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.gov.in and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.